live stream.
No, for what? To do what? To watch you pick scabs off your face? Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Really, the stars are in alignment.
The stars are in alignment, but the calendar's not. Calendar comes from the word calen, which is taxes.
What did you say, nigga?
And we know the state of our people up. And when you get somebody that has been celebrated by pop culture that really comes to tell the people the truth, they laugh and kiki like this shit funny. The new year can't be in January at the deadest time of the year. The new year is right now when the sun rises. That's why the allegory of the resurrection was talking about God's son, not S-O-N, the S-U-N, resurrecting. The sun is rising again. This is the new year in the spring. It's springing into a new year. There's really 10 months in a year. This is a Roman Gregorian calendar that we've been under. Your dad planted his seed in your mother. 9 to 10 months is full term. You got here. How can your birthday be every 12 months if it only took you 10 months to get here? You have a guy named Julius Caesar and Caesar Augustus. They added their own months to the calendar year.
Yeah.
July and August. That's why everything sept is usually 7, but September's 9. Everything octo, octagon, octopus is 8. Why is October the 10th month? Everything nueve, nouveau, nino is 9. Why is November 11? Decimals 10. How can December be 12? They added too much to the year. That's why everybody's algorithm is out of order. That's why we can't get in alignment. Well, they can't get in alignment to their assignment because they're not in alignment to nature.
I know it hurts. I know it does. Let me say, it hurts. I know. Cause I'm hurt that this could be true, and I don't want it to be.
Well, man up and deal with it.
I'll switch your wife out and I'll put another one of your wife inside of her body. And they're walking around and you think that's your wife and it's not your wife. This is what's going on. It's no longer, like I said, it's no longer spiritual. We've figured out how to, turn into spirit and exchange the soul in order to control the vessel. So if I have the vessel and I'm just nothing but spirit, I can ruin your life. That's what everybody has been going through. So they can't recognize it unless you say things like the switch. So when they watch that and they see that there's other people that can identify other than me, it's not just me playing games. It's the truth. We have to be careful with who we watch. You'll be in the car with Paul, man, but you're really in the car with Peter. But that's Paul's body. But why is Peter in Paul's body? I've been going through this for a while in order to figure out and identify every soul inside of every vessel, to where we can all identify it, and it's not just me that can do it. We can all identify who we are. We can all say, you know what, we're still here.
So how do I know Orlando's in Orlando's body right now?
Ah, man, I would be 6 inches taller. Haven't you seen Kanye?
Why does Ray J look like Kanye now?
Probably because he is.
You say that a lot. You say a lot of people are other people.
Well, no, bro, you have to look at the vessel and look at how things work. If you love someone, you should know how they work inside of their own vessel. When they move that spirit to the next vessel, they still do the same thing, is all I've been saying.
We will never ever be able to boycott anything as a nation because you guys are so easily influenced. After everything that just came out about McDonald's and all the files and everything, y'all are still eating there just so y'all can try to Drake meal. And it's not a coincidence that out of nowhere, Drake and McDonald's are collabing. The owl symbol, if you go on Drake's Instagram posts, he always is posting with some symbols on his hands and everything else. It's not a coincidence that all of a sudden they're collabing and y'all are eating that shit after everything that just came out about McDonald's. Like, that's crazy to me.
But I'm saying though, Lucita, it tastes good. That's why, man, I hate finding out that everything I learned was a lie. Cause I like McDonald's. God, man, why y'all keep ruining the ride out here is what I'm trying to figure out. And that really is on brand for black people. We don't really play with spooks, goblins, Ghostesses, yes, ghostesses is what we called them back in the days until we had to get all educated. Spirits, demons, leprechauns, we don't really be playing. That's the one thing about your black friend. He or she is scared and will start running randomly. It's just one of those things you got to get used to if you're going to be friends with Shaliqua, Tyrone, and them. It's just what we do.
You're telling me that in the midst of the public finding out that our entire country, and better yet the world, is ran by cannibalistic PEDOS, that one of the biggest pop stars of our time just happened to make a Super Bowl commercial in which she built a human man out of Pringles and then ate him, after, of course, going on dates with him. And
yes, we're telling you that. That's what we're telling you. Yes. Now that you know that, now what? Would be my question. Your eyes are looking a little snake venomy anyway. Is that just a reflection? You know what? Don't even worry about it.
Humanizing him. They could have made this commercial about literally anything else, and you would think that referencing eating human anything during this time would be so far off the table for a commercial that you're spending millions of dollars for. They literally had to sit down and think up this idea, and this is what they decided to go with. They are trying to normalize cannibalism to the public. And I don't care how crazy that sounds. I know it sounds crazy. But when you know who owns Pringles and who owns Kellogg's owns Pringles, and who owns Universal Music Group, the record label that signs Sabrina Carpenter, and who owns the betting websites for the Super Bowl, and who owns the streaming services for the Super Bowl, and who owns the TV channels for the Super Bowl, and who owns all of the other Super Bowl commercials, you understand that they are all owned by the same people, and these same people are also involved in the cannibalistic, ritualistic crap that the world is waking up to right now. But we aren't aware yet of how deep it actually goes, and that's why they're trying to normalize it to the public through commercials. They knew exactly what they were doing with that.
I'll tell you this much. I know I never ran into a Muslim person who told me, yo, let's be cannibals. Leave it in the comments if you have.
You guys know about the mattress theory, right?
No. Mattress theory?
Yes. Tell me why. If you look at mattress stores, a lot of them are across the street from each other. That's one. Two, mattress stores, they barely have anybody in there.
They never do.
How are you staying in business for years to come? You're beating out all the other businesses?
So you're saying that they're hiding things in those mattresses?
It could be laundering. It could be transport. It could be fronts. If you pay attention, really look at mattress stores, where they're located. A lot of them are near each other. They never go out of business. How many mattresses do you buy every year?
You don't.
You don't. So how many other times do other people buy mattresses?
You probably buy one every few years.
Exactly.
Realistically.
I mean, to stay in business, you got to sell shit, right?
So you're saying they stuff in people and or drugs and or money, like cartoon shit.
I'm not saying I'm not claiming anything. It doesn't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
It's like the mall, though. What's all those stores in the mall doing? How are they in business?
I don't know.
Seriously, go to your local mall. Just look around. How's the fucking kiosks?
Yeah, a lot of them.
How are they in business?
I don't know.
How are they making that much money?
Especially with Amazon right now.
When's the last time you actually went to a mall?
I actually just went. First time in a long time.
But you to buy like some clothes or whatever?
Nah.
What do they buy in malls?
That's what I'm saying. It's like always a bunch of empty stores.
It's fraud, right? So if you really think about it, if these stores aren't selling stuff the way they are, especially with Amazon, and the competition is crazy right now. Think about this. You have a large overhead. You have all this inventory. How are you staying in business? Now you look at a situation like the Leering Center in Minnesota and all these.
The fuck is the Leering Center?
Well, the Learning Center. Oh, remember the Leering Center? They forgot the end, and the daycare fraud, right?
Oh, right.
So they have no kids, but you got $6 million a year for no kids. So you really got to look at all these other businesses, because how are you staying afloat?
That's how they're going to crash the system.
They're going to
keep exposing this. We're going to find out everything's a fraud.
Right.
Do they think we're stupid?
That's why we're $38 trillion in debt. And
actually, I would say they know we're stupid. They know we are. But they trained us to be stupid. That's why they're so sure that we are.
Now, we know that school is intentional brainwash, and they don't want a nation of thinkers, they want a nation of workers. And we know that our history is mostly a lie, and history is written by the winners. So I believe there was a sob story invented with the intention of making us all feel bad and have pity on the juice boxes.
And they're slowly dumbing down the population each step of the way. Allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know that's true. Why would you believe me? I'm an old man with dementia. Let me take my stay alive pills. Let's keep going. Don't listen to me.
How are we able to print our own money, but we're paying taxes? Does that make sense?
How?
If we can create the money, why are we paying taxes? Does that make sense to anybody? You can just print it up, right? But we pay taxes. That's the fraud right there.
This whole place is built on it.
Does anybody else see this?
We're getting there. I'm telling you, that's why Trump is the last president of this regime.
Because once we show all the fraud that's going on over the next few years, when it goes from healthcare, when it goes to the school system, when it goes into all these other different industries, you're like, oh shit, what if all this is a fraud? We're done.
That's where we're going, guys.
Yeah.
The slasher genre also changes depending on who's behind the camera. White slashers is all about how the white middle class is deathly afraid of the white lower working class. There's a reason why they're all white guys. Think about it. Michael Myers has a white man's face for a mask while wearing a mechanic's jumpsuit, and he's hell-bent on killing his middle-class sister. Leatherface is a laid-off factory worker who literally wears middle-class people's faces. Jason Voorhees is the son of a poor cook who later manifests into a monstrous killjoy for white privileged teenagers who just want to party. Freddy's a janitor who was killed by middle-class parents who now haunts their kids' dream. The reason for this is because Psycho created the blueprint for the slasher, which opens with a white woman who comes into a lot of money and is later killed by a financially struggling motel owner. This trope was then used as a way to evoke fear into teenagers that if you want to continue living privilege, stay away from professions where you're dressed like this. It's no different than how teachers would say you're going to end up working at a gas station as a fear tactic to motivate students so they'll study harder. That's why Chucky is a white low-level criminal who ends up inside of a doll that wears overalls, which is often associated with manual labor jobs, and now here he is infiltrating your home through the act of American consumerism, and his one goal is he's trying to possess your child. You often hear parents question all the time, why do we propagandize certain careers aimed at our children? Well, because society needs people to take on these jobs. But it's also a backdoor way for the rich to signify to their children, this is a child's toy. This is a plaything that is no longer meant for you when you become an adult. Interestingly, the feminist lens flips this and says actually it's the men with money and status that we should be afraid of. All that money and the big fancy house with the state-of-the-art security system doesn't matter because the monster isn't trying to break in, he's already inside the house. This is why the slasher uses a blade for its weapon of choice, because it's an act of killing that feels both intimate but creates separation at once. It symbolizes how we divide and look down on our own people, as if to say, you may look like me, but we are not the same. This is why Us is so profound, because it takes those metaphors and gives them entirely new meaning. The people in that film being other don't just have the same skin color, they literally look exactly like you. A tethered breaks free from the underground by swapping places with her double and goes on to live a very comfortable middle-class life. The weapon is scissors, two blades that are permanently connected together but moves as one. Just like how the tethered mimic their double's movements up above. Showing us that the only difference between these two groups of people is entirely circumstantial. It's just the result of not having versus having. And if you had been born on the other side of that division, you would be the other and the other would be you. We are actually the same. Where these movies are low-key subliminally messaging to keep this division going, this film is asking, well, who is the real villain here? The character who is traditionally portrayed as a monster is revealed to be a victim because our lead protagonist stole her life and kills her in the end. And the answer is neither is the monster, and this is why the title could also be read to say the US. Real monster is the system that put this division in motion between us and them in the first place, but is still subtly convincing these younger generations to keep this cycle going. Want to get ahead in this world? Then stack the cards in your favor. See, neither character is in the wrong because they're both just trying to survive, and you would do the same in either character's shoes. Whereas most horror films force you to ask yourself, well, what would I do if I was in that situation? This film instead is asking, well, why is either of us in these positions at all?
Well, I don't know that I can disagree with that. I don't know that I can't. So let's just watch the next clip.
Did you know that the moment a celebrity steps out of line, they either kill the character or replace the consciousness? Then a new consciousness takes over their body, and it's one of the demons controlling it. That's why every celebrity looks different from just a few years before. You can see a completely new energy inside them, something else pulling the strings, and that's why you see those soulless eyes on their faces. So many of them don't have a soul in their eyes anymore. I'm going to show you a few photos of the new versions of celebrities who literally have no soul left in their gaze. The one people have been talking about the most these past months is Bonnie Blue. She's not a celebrity, fine, but she has the same eyes. Look how empty they look. There's a demon in there, and nothing will ever convince us otherwise. When you know this woman let 400 men have unprotected intercourse with her in a single day, you understand why she's transforming like that. But the worst is with the real celebrities. Miley Cyrus here still has her soul, and here she doesn't anymore. You see it on another photo too. No soul here, and here it's back. You can clearly see in the eyes when it's empty. There's also Bradley Cooper. Look at his eyes in the two photos. Simon Cowell too. The before and after is genuinely frightening. One of the most shocking ones is Meghan Trainor. Nobody understands what's happening with her, but that's not the real one, especially since she started hanging out with the Kardashian-Jenner family, and I already made a video about the 70th birthday of Kris Jenner, but she's the one who shocks everyone. I really think we had never seen anything like that before.
It's something most people don't notice. So this week, we had the passing of Jesse Jackson, a famous civil rights activist and a pioneer for the so-called African American community. What I'm here to show is the patterns and connections that can't be ignored from this character. Now, Jesse Jackson was announced dead on February 17th, one day after President's Day, at 84 years old. Now, this is significant because Jackson ran for president twice during his career as a Democratic nominee, and his first run began in 84. It's said that his impact as a nominee opened the gates for other so-called black Democratic President Barack Obama. And without Jackson, he could not have become president. Now, Jackson's campaign slogan was "Keep Hope Alive," very similar to Obama's campaign slogan, "Hope." Also, Jackson founded the Rainbow Coalition and used it to push his presidential run, similar to Obama, who used the rainbow flag and was a heavy LGBT advocate during his campaign and presidency. Both of these characters have had rumors fluctuating about rainbow activity, if you know what I mean, but I won't get into that right now. But I will say, why is this man hugged up with Bill Clinton like this? I have never embraced another man like this in my life. Like, these dudes is connected like wildfire. They sitting here gut to gut, like sword to sword. This is a nasty picture right here. Like, look at him. He's literally getting lost in his eyes. Ew, yo. Alright, my bad. Let me get back to cooking. So Jackson died 33 weeks before his upcoming birthday. And this number is very important to Freemasonry, which he was a part of. It says here, Reverend Jesse Jackson is a prominent member of Prince Hall Freemasonry, specifically associated with the most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge, Illinois. Initiated at age 46 in 87, Jackson held the 33rd degree of the ancient accepted Scottish Rite. He was a member of Harmony Lodge number 88 in Chicago. Now look at the POTUS in front of him. Just say Jesse. But the two S's are 8s. 88, he's representing the Freemasonic Harmony Lodge, number 88. Now here's another 33 for you. He died 33 days after MLK Jr.'s birthday. And we should all know how significant MLK was to Jackson, being his protege and under his mentorship. All of them were under the Divine Nine black fraternities and members of the Boule Society. This is why they were put in place to carry out the missions they did. Take a look at this number on the Prince Hall Freemason Lodge, 33. It represents enlightenment, the Kundalini energy, the 33 vertebrae that make up the human spine. 33 is considered a master number, which is why it's one of the highest degrees in Freemasonry. Another connection is the fact that he died in Chicago on Michael Jordan's birthday. This is important because the same year Jackson ran for president in 84, Jordan was drafted into the NBA by the Chicago Bulls. Chicago was the main hub where Jackson did a lot of his political work. Jordan even supported Jackson's organization Operation Push/Rainbow Coalition by playing in benefit basketball games. Not only that, they both were members of the Omega Psi Phi fraternities out of North Carolina. Now keep in mind, a few days before Jackson's death and Michael Jordan's birthday, Jordan went viral for groping the son of his driver, Tyler Reddick, during their very first NASCAR Daytona win. Keep the checkerboard right behind them. NASCAR is connected to Freemasonry, with many Masons sponsoring drivers and some drivers being Masons themselves, just like Jesse Jackson, who again was a 33rd degree Freemason and Boule member. Peep him doing the sign of the Grand Master Mason. along with his Prince Hall Freemason brother, Al Sharpton, another clown character connected to Jackson, who is labeled as a civil rights activist for the so-called black community. Let's keep it real here. These people and groups are sellouts. They have done significant damage to the melanated people over the decades, and even in more recent times, they have influenced and set up safe havens for companies to come in and inject poisons into the bodies of the melanated communities. Not only that, their groups have pushed ideologies on melanated people like the whole black and African American identity. They've continued to push this to reclassify the melanated and indigenous people and further disconnect them from the land and the tribes they originally came from. Not African American, not Negro, not black. Calling yourself black is a misnomer title. Black is an adjective, not a proper noun. When you call yourself black, you are legally dead in the eyes of the law. A corporate fiction, a warden of the state. These Prince Hall Masons and Boule members are not going to tell you that. They'll keep tricking people with the I'm black and I'm proud. All of our ancestors came from Africa mindset. It's all indoctrination. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. These Freemasons, Divine Nine fraternities, Boule are nothing but servants to the king, counsel to the king, defenders of the 13 families, pushing society into their system. And that right there, it's not by accident.
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you. To my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you.